All right, what's up, everybody? This is your boy J Rock. I am live here with Miss Fell in Love with Carly. You
Hello,
want to say hi to
everybody.
everybody? I think this is an amazing opportunity. Of course, anybody who watches us and listens to us knows that we kind of live by this music industry and just the media business, and we both have like a genuine love for the people who are out here in our community and in our culture who are representing us the right way. So I work, obviously with your publicist a lot, and I knew that he was pushing your new product, your new project, "Soul of a Woman," as well as all the other tracks that he's
Now
been
you
singing.
know I gotta stop you, Mr. James.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know I gotta stop you. You introduced yourself, you introduced myself, and you did not introduce
I was
this
getting to
talent
that.
right
I
here,
was getting to
Dr.
that.
Charles Jenkins, while he is in the building listening and waiting for his introduction himself. So we're gonna rewind that just a little bit.
Let's let's
Hello,
re- let's re-
everybody.
let's
We are
rewind
the
that.
entertainment plug, and we are here live. This is I am your girl, Fella of Curly. This is James J. Rock Johnson, and we have as our special guest today, Dr. Charles Jenkins in the building. Thank you for joining us
Who
live.
runs the world, girls?
Girl, girl. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna let you kick this
Mothers
off.
Day to all the mothers, matter of fact.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is the week to really, obviously to really, let that be known. So I'm gonna let you kick this off. Fell in love with Carly.
I think I just did, but I have to keep going. So I thank you. Thank you for joining us. I know that you are on crunch time. This is your media day, so you fit us in, and I thank you for. We're grateful because we are so grateful for the opportunity to talk to you. And I want to say first and foremost that your song "Awesome" is one of those songs that got me through so many different times, and I thank you for allowing God to use you and your gift in that moment, and that you are continuously doing your thing. So thank you so much for being obedient, because obedience is definitely better than sacrifice.
Thank you. That's love. That's very special,
Absolutely.
overwhelming, unexpected. I appreciate that so much.
Yes. A melanated man in the industry, and you're doing inspirational gospel music. Can you share with us some of your ups and some of your downs in the industry?
I mean, I have more of them than I could count. I think that, I say to people, whatever genre, we are all human people in a human world, and we experience human things, and we do human things. I mean, it's all of the above. And I think when I came into the industry, I think it was unexpected the way that I came into the industry. I was independent. The song you mentioned, "Awesome," in 2012 January. First of all, I got a second job to actually be in this industry.
Mm.
I could not afford to do everything that was needed, whether it was the production, the marketing, the mixing, mastering, promotions, radio, all of that. So I got a second job, and I worked nights. I got a job to be the CEO of a nonprofit on the west side of Chicago, overseeing 100 nonprofits. And
Mm.
it was very hard work, but I felt like I was called to this. So I say to people often, if you feel like you're called to this, then you got to be the first one willing to invest in this, and be willing to invest in yourself. And with respect to the labels and so on and so forth, especially, it's very different now, as they're waiting for you really to establish yourself. Then they grab you and then look to take you to the next level. So it's harder now. But in 2012, I went to the Big Gospel Music Awards. I had spent $1,500 on download cards, and I was out in the hallway, check out this song when you get back to your hotel room. And as they tell me, nobody in gospel music was doing that. I was out in the hallways like a rapper on the hip hop scene on the side of the street. Check this out. Check this out. And I was told by some executives that they talked about me like a dog.
Mm.
Because first of all, they were like, we're your people. Like at the time, you're a mega church pastor. You know, like, why you out here in the hallway peddling? And I'm like, I am the people. You know, I'm like,
Yes.
if you believe in it, then you will work on it and work with it, and you will do the work yourself. You won't ask anybody to do what you're not willing to do yourself. And so I think that humility to grind, you know what I'm saying? I was on boards all over Chicago, but here's the thing, you could be at a level over here, but you got to have the humility to start over here. You know what I'm saying? And so I had that humility. So taking those statements that people said and thought, but here's the thing, to get the song, you had to give me your email address. I got 20,000 email addresses in a month. This was when sales were declining, and people were starting to be able to get your music for free. That next month, I put it up for sale. Those people who gave me their email addresses, those are the first people I emailed. Thank you for believing. You listened, you shared it, you believed, it's now for sale. I sold 34,000 singles that first month.
Oh, wow.
Then it went crazy. Fast forward, that June, I was #1 single, #1 album. The head of Live Nation and Jay-Z's manager called me to come do Made in America. I ended up going to do that for Jay-Z. Walmart called. They were one of the sponsors of Essence Fest. And this is going to be a great story. And they say, you know, we want you to be the featured Walmart artist at Essence Fest, 2 performances on the Walmart stage, and then on the main stage that Sunday. And I'm not going to tell you the artist's name because it'll start a fight, but a massive artist.
What year was that?
This was in 2012, Essence Fest. This is my first year out the gate.
I was just trying to figure out if that was one of the years that I was there, but I know the whole setup with the Walmart stage and the main stage and just
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Epic.
So it's epic. So I'm out of the gate. This is my first single, first album. I'm everywhere. So a very big artist walks up to me and says, I cannot believe it. I'm walking into one of the big concerts. I think Mary J is performing. Me and my wife are rolling up. And this big artist walks up to me and is like, I can't believe you the face of gospel music. Like, why are you getting these opportunities? And this person, you know, I'm a fan. You know, I look up to you. I'm like, and he like, we in the middle of the Superdome in New Orleans. I'm going to my seat. They going to the bathroom, and they just like I can't even. I'm like, I'm here. Have a good one. And so the energy, like in your face, like,
yes,
we don't even want you here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm here, Bob. You know,
I love it.
And I ended up being #1 that year for almost 6 months. And so, oh, you're gonna love this story. You're gonna love this. So I'm on a tour years later. I'm going to fast forward it. I'm on a tour years later, and I'm on a tour with Fred Hammond, Donnie McClurkin, Take 6, and James Fortune. We're on the tour bus. I've never told this story publicly, but it's true. And everybody is going around the bus talking about their haters. And so it's my turn to talk. Donnie McClurkin says, Charles Jenkins, I'm going to tell your story. You're not telling your story. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm going to tell your story. You're not going to tell your story about your haters. I'm going to tell your story about your haters. We hated you. We hated your guts. My big brother, Donnie McClurkin, shout out to Donnie. He said, we hated you. You came out of nowhere talking about my God is awesome. You locked the charts. You took opportunities from us. You took contracts from us. You're closing shows on BT. And,
Amen.
And we're like, he can't even sing like us. You can't. And you are all over, and you're just narrating and talking, and I'm sitting there like, Wow. Wow. He said, but we love you now and we've grown to respect you.
God is
You know, I'm
good.
so proud of you and you just persevered. And
Right.
but I got a million stories now. I got a
But you know
million
what?
stories.
But you know what I think a lot of it is, and it's not to make any, disparaging remarks, about anybody, but I just think that people become complacent and they
Yeah.
get used to the way that things are done. I mean, I've said all along, like, whether it's a gospel artist or whether it's an R&B artist like an Eric Benet or a Faith Evans or somebody like that, like, these people can sing their backs off and like they're putting out good music, but a lot of times it doesn't sell, and they have the fan base. It just doesn't sell. So I think that the fact that you came in the door completely different, you found your own niche, you found your own path, and you went that way. You had your cards printed up and you put those in people's hands. That's usually what you need to do, is put it in their hand, put it directly in their hands. Like, here you go. A lot of people, a lot of times people may not listen, but a lot of people will. And just the fact that you took the time to make that happen, like you went out there and you made it happen, like that's the fire that a lot of people really need to have.
Well, I think two things too. I think that in any industry, when you have like a group of mainstays
Mm-hmm.
and the top is basically locked, and then somebody who legit came out of nowhere. Like, a lot of people say, well, so and so came out of nowhere. And in many instances, I came from somewhere. You just didn't see me when I was on the
You
backside
better preach.
Absolutely,
working on
absolutely.
working on my work. You know what I'm saying? And like when, well, let's go and preach then, sister. David didn't come out of nowhere. He was over in the cut working with the sheep,
You
and
better
then
preach.
they called for him. Here he comes. He's crowned king. He was in preparation and in process. He was just being processed like old school photographs in the dark. You
Yes.
saw the picture when it came out of the dark room. So
Amen.
a lot of times we're developing in the dark, and people think we
Yes.
disappear when the lights come on. When all along we were being developed in a place where you couldn't see us. So I think when things are locked and the players and the people and everything is going a certain way, and it's like, wait, well, who is this and for what now? And wait, and he closing the show, and for the people who don't understand, we talking about the business side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is across all genres. But here's the other thing that I did. I didn't just come. Like, I'm independent. I got a second job so I can get some bread.
Yes.
Like my second album, I did a 30-day tour on the road. Like, me and my team sleeping in whatever hotel we could afford,
Right.
grinding, like being with beautiful people like y'all, radio, TV, restaurants, in stores. If you let me in, I'm gonna pull up. And I think not many people were doing 30 days on the road.
Absolutely not. And not just that, but they're not gonna fund it themselves. And like they're looking for somebody to give them the money. And understandably so, because a lot of times you don't make that kind of money, or you don't have the money to do it, but you figured that out. You got a second job to make, and like, fell in love with Carly and myself. We both, like, that resonates with us, and we both can understand that because we're independent media. I've been doing media for over 20 years, and she's been doing it for just about as long. And the reality is,
Not me. I'm still young in the game.
Yeah, she too young.
I'm gonna let him age. I'm still young.
Still
young in the game.
She's still 22. But I'm just saying that, like we are pushing just the same way that you pushed for yours, because we know what we want to do, and we know the impact that we want to make, and we know what we want to get out here material wise, and we have to do it ourselves. So, like, we're doing the same thing. Whether it's me working a night job and driving Uber around the clock and doing all this other stuff, which I do, and then we figure this out and we fit in whatever time we can to get streams done, and we work around the artist schedule. and it works. Like I love this. So like I totally understand where you're coming from with just your method of getting out there. And I know that Fell in Love with Carly understands it as well.
I absolutely understand, but I wanted to go back to and reflect on what he said about Charles, when you said that you went out and you printed off your cards and you went out in the industry, you went out. It reminded me of the parable of Jesus going out there in the highways and the byways. He got out. There was no church building. There was no church house. And that you went out to see the people, and you went out and you touched people, and they believed in you. And from there, you were obedient to go out and see people. You did something that only people with that true spirit of the Lord would actually do. When you followed your heart, and when you followed your passion, and God allowed your passion and your purpose to provide for you. And so that part, it really resonates with me, because you did something different. And they were wondering, how did he get here? He came out of nowhere. No, your place was already provided for you. You just took the stand.
Well, now you preaching.
Yes, sir.
Listen, when I don't get enough church, that's who I call.
I feel that. Well, I think it's important for me to always note and know that who, you all are media, right? Entertainment business. I'm an artist and an executive on my side. And man, when I see these people out here, that's why, I'm doing the Tom Joyner cruise, and I'm privileged to perform there, and it's going to be some beautiful. The greats are all on it, and
you ain't even got to say, man, that's on my bucket list.
It's one to do. I've been fortunate to perform at it a number of times, but I'm out sitting with the people. I mean, these are our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, and we can't do what we do without them, right? Absolutely. And so I think for me, can you take a picture? Of course you can. And I'm gonna pray for your mom if you need me to, because not only are you a person, but I'm a person too, because I need them prayers for my stuff. My middle baby is getting ready to go off to college, and I don't want to see her go yet. I don't want to. And so, I mean, I think
in one more year. So I guess,
man, let me see if I can say it this way. There's a beautiful passage that says, gifts and callings come without repentance. Paraphrasing, it means that you can be good at what you do, but bad at who you are. And I think it's important to always know we are not what we do. We are who we are, despite what we do, because here's the thing. If you are what you do, what the season changes and you can no longer do what you've been doing. And you're completely lost on who you are because you've locked it all into what you do. And so I think it's important to know that we are people with purposes for seasons. Seasons change for different reasons. And my goal is to work as hard as I can to be good at not just what I do, but at who I am.
Amen.
I love
that.
Amen. I love
is
that.
Is this your first passion?
Is this my first passion? That's very interesting. It is probably the first thing that gripped me. I started piano lessons when I was 5. I took classical piano 5 to 12. Started writing songs when I was 14. And, I guess I started preaching when I was 16. Ordained at 18. Took over a historic church in Chicago at 24. Named the new guy at 21.
Yeah.
But I think our first passion and our first purpose can be two different things. They can be together at the same time, but I think practically speaking, for me, I think it's important to prioritize contingent upon purpose over passion, because passion could be watching Netflix. Sitting on your couch, going bold. Very passionate about going to sleep. I had some emails I had to do the other night. My passion was going to sleep. That's what I'm fueled and excited about going to sleep. That's my passion. My purpose was to respond to these people. Did that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. So, I love how you say that, like when you're on, like doing the Tom Joyner cruise and whatnot, like you're out there with the people. Like that's one of the things that I love about doing Essence Fest is that when you go, everybody is just out there with the people. And it's funny because we have a pretty big crew as far as who travels with us for events. And we were talking yesterday about the credentialing process, and we're still waiting on the credentials to be sent and approved or not approved or whatever. And I was just telling somebody last night that half the time, it doesn't even matter if you get your credentials or not, because if you're doing Essence Fest, people are going to be out on the floor. You don't want to be in the press room because you're going to be subdued from everything that's going on. Like the people who are really enjoying it and love the people, they're going to be down there on the floor, and you're just going to be bumping into them as you walk through. So I think that's amazing.
No, I appreciate that. I'm into maintaining the common touch, and it's where I get my inspiration, and it's also how I'm able to get the feedback and hear the stories. You mentioned the Soul of a Woman record earlier.
Yes.
To be able to hear women say to me, "Thank you for saying this about us."
Yes.
I wrote the song as a tribute to my mother, who turns 80 this year.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, my father died when I was 10.
Wow.
My mama became our everything. She cultured me, put us in all the sports, put me in piano, championed education in me and my brother, took us to visit the sick, sit with the seniors. She would take us to funeral homes. She's like, let's go in here and see who died. We wouldn't even know the people, be rubbing people's backs. She taught us care, and that's crazy. But for us as little kid, we rubbing people back while they viewing their loved one, and they turn around looking like, who is y'all? They're like, okay, y'all for being here. But she was teaching us compassion, service, care, concern. She got a second job to make sure we could eat. I am where I am today because of her. And so I wanted to write a song. I was just thinking about everything she's done one night. And I wanted to figure out a timeless song that would embody what does the soul of a woman actually look like? This champion that loves and gives and sacrifices and nurtures and empowers and enlightens and encourages and uplifts. And so what's been exciting is seeing women, not just on Facebook, the videos on Facebook and YouTube, but seeing women hear the song and not just write one line about the song, but write paragraphs.
That's right.
Seeing how the song speaks to them and really embodies them as a tribute. And there's so much stuff to disparage women and degrade and demean. I was excited to write a record to uplift and really say thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it personally as being a woman. And it's Mother's Day. Isn't it Mother's Day weekend coming up?
Yeah.
And so if people have not downloaded this song, go over to iTunes. I'm quite sure it's on iTunes, Spotify. Is it across all platforms?
It's everywhere you listen to music. I got a new EP called Gospel Music Changed My Life. It kicks off with Sweet Sunny Day. It could be
I love Sweet Sunny Day.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I love Sweet Sunny Day.
Thank you for even listening to it. I appreciate that.
I think it's dope. Like we need more inspirational music. And I mean, I could have a full conversation with you about how I think that, like, I think it's bad that they call it gospel music, and it really should just be it's music. I think there's a differentiation that that kind of messes with it as far as the reach and that sort of thing. And I think that's just because of how it's pre-labeled before it comes out to people. And the messages that you're giving in your music, like, we need that. I was really asking, like, why is it only 5 songs? but it's cool though.
I got 4 more coming. Here's why it's only 5 songs. Y'all got the exclusive right here. The iconic Mr. Al Green committed to do one of the songs, and I was holding the record for the legend. So people were asking me for music, and so I said, I'm gonna drop these 5, and I'm gonna come back with 4 more. Okay. The legend has kindly agreed to do the song. I'm told he loves this song I did. And so I'm coming with 4 more songs, but I'm sitting tight and patiently waiting for the icon to get in the space where he's ready to walk into the studio.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That is amazing. Like, obviously you're reaching people who are in your business and in that field and whatnot. But I think more importantly, like, you're reaching the people like us, like, who are just dealing with everyday life, and like, we need some inspiration. Like, 2 days ago I needed it. So like, I love Sweet Sunny Day. Like, I love all 5 of the songs, but I love, like, Sweet Sunny Day stands out to me. So that's on my playlist right now. But I really, really appreciate it. I know that it resonates with, Fell in Love with Carly, and just with so many other people who are watching this. Like, we need it. We need it. And with everything that's happening in the world today, from shootings and just violence, just overrunning, our communities, like, we need it. We need it more than ever. So thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Hey man, it's an honor. I say music is medicine, and take your medicine. And come on and get a bottle from Charles Jenkins. Y'all
better say that.
Some of this music changed my life. Some of this, my God is awesome. This means war, grace. He'll make it all right. All of it. It's available wherever you listen to music. And ladies, please go listen to The Soul of a Woman, and tell me how you feel.
And send it to y'all's mother for Mother's Day. Everybody, listen, play it and send it and share it to the women in your lives that have mothered you. Make sure you love on these women with The Soul of a Woman from Charles Jenkins.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Like, there's so much more that I can ask you. I know that we're on a time crunch and you got to keep your schedule going, but listen, I'm gonna work my hand with Ray to try to get another 20 minutes.
When you come in around to see us in Ohio or surrounding states, let us know, because somebody over there already know that I'll jump a flight real quick to go see somebody live.
Listen, man, when I tell you how about just to expound on how much we love this. We had a conversation with a young lady probably about, 3 to 4 weeks ago. And she and that guest, like, they connected like this, like, instantly. So like, we talked for probably an hour. Within a week, she was flying to Dallas to go and MC one of her shows. And like, that's how much we love this man. And I know you probably hear that a lot.
Only what God let me know when the spirit pushes and pulls me a certain way, I'm obedient to do it. It doesn't matter.
And I'm more where you were, so I'm like, listen, it ain't in my budget to go right now, but if you can go,
obedience big budget for me.
Understand.
If I go down there, I'm gonna be living on the corner. Like, I got to stay here. But I'm gonna let you go.
I was gonna say I'm in your advanced class. Sometimes as an artist, people think you making money, you spending money. You real close.
Absolutely. But you have to. You have to invest in what it is that you love. You said that's the first thing you said. You got to be willing to invest in it. And a lot of people don't understand it that way, but that's really the reality. Is if you want to succeed, you got to spend some money. You got to invest
2 times.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. We don't want to hold you too much over, but thank you.
Let's do it again.
I swear, man. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Thank you so much, you guys. This is the legendary Charles Jenkins. Thank you for joining us on our live. And in case you missed it, we are the Entertainment Plug. It's your girl, Fell in Love with Carly, and
I am J Rock.
Thank you guys for joining us.
I'm J Rock.
See you all soon.
Much love.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
All right. Thank you.
So what you think?
I loved it.
Now,
we still live? No.
We still live.
Okay. Well, I appreciate and love his spirit. I'm gonna tell you, when I went to listen to his songs, it's really true that I praised and worshiped literally, figuratively to most of his music in my life. And it's one of those, his music is his soul in action, you know, his heart in action. And so I really appreciate when I see people that really understand the word of God. Right. And get out there in the highways and byways to be obedient, because obedience is better than sacrifice, because we understand that we're in purpose and God got us there for a reason.
Absolutely. The song Awesome, just the same way that you said that it has gotten you through so much. It has gotten me through stuff, and it's still getting me through stuff.
Amen.
And, you know, even just The Soul of a Woman. I was watching the video right before we went live, and I think that that's dope, because it's just like, I think I've been reflecting on the last 5 years, because, you know, 2018 was the year that, you know, that everything kind of started happening. So I've been reflecting on the last 5 years, and it's like we question, or we talk a lot about, you know, who's here for us and who's not here for us, and, you know, who got our backs and all of that stuff. And I'm like 10 toes down. Like, even when I feel like other people have had my back, nobody has had my back like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, from, you know, growing up and working one job, working 2 jobs, working 3 jobs, signing over checks for my sister for school, or like signing over whole paychecks to make sure school was paid for, knowing that bills need to be paid at the house. And even outside of that, just like the abundance of like love and encouragement that we get. And like I can never say that throughout my whole life, despite anything that's gone on, that I have not known that I can do whatever I want to do. And that's because of my mama. So
absolutely,
that song like is perfect. And there were so many people, you know, that flashed on the screen in the video. So actually one of the questions I was going to ask him was, how did he choose like all of the people that he showed in there? Because there were some familiar faces, and then obviously people that you don't know. But I wonder how he picked who was in there. But that'll be for the next conversation, because when I tell you I'm gonna work my hand and get us another conversation, like, these conversations are really, really dope, not just for our brand, but for us, because like the conversations help us. And it's just interesting how so much that he said resonates with both of us, because we're living a lot of that life, from working 2 jobs or doing this to try to make sure we got money so that we could fly to Dallas, or either we could go to Atlanta, or we could do this and do that. Like, we working from a grassroots and an independent standpoint. And it's like, obviously all these people are out here that we could easily go and work for. But
that's absolutely true.
It's and like, you know, like freedom do you give up? Going
right. And you know, also, I think people forget about how powerful women really are, you know. And you know, that soul of a woman. A lot of people want to bring up women's libs and everything, and truthfully, whether it's a women's liberation, where they want to get equal pay or equal rights, it's the reason why they're asking for equality is because they haven't been treated equally, you know. So the soul of a woman, to bring it back to love, respecting, and honoring women, is so humongous for me as a woman, you know. I just want people to think about that, and take the time to respect and love the people around you that have mothered you, whether it's a biological mother or a spiritual mother.
Absolutely. So I think that this was great. I love the way that we just continued the conversation at the end of it.
I do too.
I think what we're probably going to do is start having a little conversation before we all come on, and then have something afterwards or whatever, kind of before the show and after the show, like a reflection or after reflection, you know, reflection or something like that. But I think this was dope. You know, I'm always grateful for you being here and being on the streams and being side by side with me. But if you can't be side by side, clearly we can be right on the screen.
Side by side.
It's still side by side. I think this is really, really dope. I wouldn't rather do this with nobody else. So I
appreciate you.
And we was just having a conversation. When I say that, you know, listen, I'm slow. But listen, when I say that you are the entertainment plug, You are the entertainment plug.
Oh,
And I'm
don't make
sure
me
that
cry.
anybody that's watching or listening will agree with me. Like the fire and the spunk and just the heat and everything about the show has like expanded just beyond words, beyond measure. So like I really, really appreciate that. But it's also because it's like a family thing too. It ain't like somebody just threw us together and said, okay, make this work. Like it's family. So like we can't do nothing but be successful. So I think that this was great. It was wonderful having Charles Jenkins on here. And I mean, hell, I mean, look at the YouTube page. We've done a ton of streams over the past month, and there's going to be so many more coming. But I think this was definitely dope. You know, the improv is going on this week. I'm trying to figure that out ticket wise and everything, because there's somebody there Thursday and then there's somebody there Friday through Sunday. So we'll figure it out. Marlon is here next week. So trying to work our hand with that. But at the end of the day, like we doing it. Like we doing this. We're doing it. And listen, we creating our own access, and we are creating and building our own access. So in reality, as much as we want to do like the different things, like what we may do next weekend, is a little up in the air, but what we may do next week, and then if not that, what we will do after that, and the other events, like we need them, but we don't, because we look at the path that we have paved in just a month. And look at the access that we've gotten, and look at the people who we have brought into our fold, who have just nothing but loved on us because of what it is that we're doing, and because of our brand. They ain't getting it nowhere else. And that's not even about boasting or bragging or nothing. Like we created what we have for this very reason, because we knew what was lacking out here. So we're creating it. And I can't do that without you. I've been doing this show for 5 years. And the last month has been the biggest and the most grandest month of that 5 years. Ask anybody that watch it or listen to it. Or like when I say that, I ain't bullshitting, like I'm serious. Ask Decisive. This has been like the grandest month of the show. So you can run away all you want. You ain't going to
you ain't supposed to say that on them.
Listen, but the thing with it though, I say it in humor and laughter, and I think what people love about us is that we can be open, we can be honest, we can be transparent, we can say what's on our minds, we can say how we feel, because a lot of them have the same feelings, and they just don't say nothing because they think it's taboo to say it, or they think somebody going, listen, it is what it is. Like this, it's a rat race out here, and like, trust, we might make it look good, and we might look primed up and all of that shit, but it's a rat race. Like we struggling to keep it moving, and we doing it. So like, be proud of you, because I'm damn sure proud of me, but I'm proud of what we do together, because it's always better together.
I love it.
Like
I
you
love
can
you.
kick
I
ass.
thank you for
you
even
do a lot of
seeking me
shit.
out for this, to do this, because we definitely joined forces and actually just allowed,
Yeah.
just
We just
natural,
allowed it
just a
to
natural,
work organically.
yeah.
Because like
So
you kill it on your own. I already know I kill it on my own. I mean, if you look at all the stuff that I've done, like I know I kill it on my own and you kill it on your own, but look how we killing it together. Look how we bring somebody in, and they just and we ain't gotta say no names, because anybody that's watching, they know who we talking about. Look how we set up just a stream like what we just did. And that turned into them coming to our event and then inviting us onto their show because they like what it is that we do.
like
Where do that happen at?
That part.
And then the beauty is that we work for us. So can't nobody tell us what we could do or what we can't do. That's why I push the entrepreneurial side. I mean, I done went to school, I got degrees. I could go work for anybody TV station that I want, or I could go work for anybody radio station that I want. I choose to be where I'm at. I choose to be with No Static, because that's the best place to be. And I choose
shout out to Decisive.
Absolutely. And I choose to have my brand.
Yes.
Because I know that if I'm under somebody else's, if I'm under somebody else's tutelage, then the things that I get and the opportunities that I get and the things that I'm granted are going to be dependent upon whether they feel like they want me to do it. You know, versus we can make our own decision and say, okay, well, we're going to go to Atlanta and we're going to do this event because we want to do it. And we good with the people and they know us and we have a relationship and they want, like, you can't beat that. So like, if at all you ever question, because we still question, I always question, because outside of any of this stuff, I got to pay for a house and a car and light and gas and water. I mean, you know. So it's not, and again, we ain't even mentioning that because we manifested greater things. So know that
you caught yourself.
I've been listening, but I'm just saying.
You caught yourself. You must
But I'm
have
just
that
saying.
like I know he ain't.
But I said it just to say that we got everything else going on too, but we making it work and we making it flow, and that's because of you too. So thank you.
Thank you.
So we good. Thank you, everybody who has been watching and who's been listening. We really, really appreciate you guys because, again, we're doing something that we truly love. And I think we have an amazing time with it. Hopefully you did not miss hopefully you didn't miss the stream that we did with Charles Jenkins. But if you did, you can always catch it on the YouTube page for UG Digital Media and Publishings. I won't spew out the long address, but if you go to my Instagram, Authentically James, or if you go to the Entertainment Plug on Instagram, I do have a link tree there, and there's a direct link to this stream. Since it's ending now, you'll be able to go back and watch the full stream. So we talked to Mr. Jenkins for probably about a half an hour, and then we've been on here just kind of reflecting for the last 10 minutes. But again, we are grateful to you guys. Make sure you follow me at Authentically James on Instagram.
Absolutely.
You want to go?
And make sure you follow me. I am Fell in Love with Carly, but you guys have to see me at Carly Davenport on Facebook and IG. Make sure you like it and follow me, you guys, and check out that that blue check mark that's on those pages.
Listen, absolutely. Please like, follow, share, really share our YouTube page because we have quite a few streams up on there. If you missed any of the past streams, you can go back and you can watch all of those. Just go to the YouTube page for UG Digital Media and Publishings and click on the live tab and you'll find all of our live streams.
Yes.
So we have quite a few on there.
And don't forget to join us this Saturday from 11 to 1 at No Static, NoStatic.net. If you guys just watch our platforms, we just keep updating the different flyers so that you guys can keep everything updated. We're on there every Saturday from 11 to 1 o'clock.
Absolutely. So make sure you catch us again. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye. With love.